got a Mandalorian movie coming. And I'm not going to lie, I'm actually pretty excited about it. As long as they don't just desperately, and you've heard me say this, and pathetically just try to use the Mandalorian movie as nothing but a gimmick to try to promote Disney Plus. And say, like, end the movie on a massive cliffhanger and say, well, guys, if you want to see what happens at the end of this movie, you better go subscribe to Disney Plus. Stay tuned for season 4 of The Mandalorian. That's always been my one fear of it. Otherwise, I think it's a really good move to make the Mandalorian movie, because one of the very, very few things that Star Wars fans have agreed on in the past 30 years is that Mandalorian's pretty good. Season 3 wasn't great, admittedly, but for the most part, most Star Wars fans seem to agree together that, yeah, especially the first couple seasons, Mandalorian's pretty good. And so if Lucasfilm is going to try to embark on an era of like kind of bridging the gap, if you will, to bring people together, Mandalorian's not a bad thing to kick off with. But there's also been a lot of talk about them also still trying to do Mandalorian season 4, which makes me wonder why they're doing a movie 2 anyway. There's some questions now about whether season 4 is happening, because the actor who's actually physically playing the Mandalorian is saying there's no plans for it. This comes to us from the folks over at CBR who wrote the following. Speaking on the Chatooine show on YouTube, Wayne, who plays the physical version of Din Djarin, as Pedro Pascal provides the voice, was asked if he had heard anything regarding a season 4 of the hit series In a Galaxy Far, Far Away. Wayne casts doubt on the development of another season, saying no to season 4. I know that we're doing a movie for sure. That's what I know. Now, this is interesting because we had kind of heard definitively that there's going to be a movie and there's going to be a season 4. But now we got the guy who actually plays the Mandalorian saying, I know nothing about a season 4. I just know we're making a movie. Now, he said a couple of interesting things about the movie too. Number one, he said, I think we start shooting in June, which is like sooner than I think a lot of people anticipate. So they're going to be shooting this thing fairly quickly. The second thing he said was a lot of people were very worried about when they do a Mandalorian that it wouldn't even be about Mandalorian. You know, maybe it'll be about Katie Sackhoff's character, or maybe it'd be about this or that or the other thing. But one of the things that Wayne says in this interview is that, oh, it's going to be very, very Mando and Grogu centric. It's going to be very, very Mando and Grogu centric. So I'm sure that's going to be relieving for a lot of people to hear. But Chris, you know, he's saying here, listen, I have no idea about plans for season 4. I just know we're making a movie. Do you think they're going to actually go on and do a season 4 once making the jump to the big screen? Does he just become a big screen character after that? What do you think is going to happen here?
I feel like the proof is in the pudding here of that movie. We got to see how this does. Maybe they'll go back to doing the series, but if this turns out to be a fantastic thing to have on the big screen, we could see Mando just showing up in things like Boba Fett kind of shows, right? Seeing him in Ahsoka or something like that, just showing up little bits here and there. I don't think that there's anything really, I just don't feel like it's a huge deal. Like people are like, they haven't said anything about it the next season. Yeah, because they're doing a movie. They're going to focus on the movie. And Disney themselves have said, we are trying to make sure that we are focusing on quality over quantity.
Yeah.
So I think we have to let them do that. And they're really trying to have that focus right now of, hey, we're doing things one at a time. We're limiting our shows. We're limiting our theatrical releases across the board through Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, etc. And we're making sure that what we're putting out is Disney caliber stuff, the kind of things that you all want to see. Because the Star Wars universe has been quite divisive. The Marvel universe has left people not as thrilled as they used to be with it. They really got to up their game. And so I think they are going to really focus on making this a fabulous movie, and then they'll decide where Mando is going to end up.
See, and I think you're right. And the way I think it's going to go from there is when we look at Bob Iger, I think if Mando ends up being a big success, Iger's a more theatrical centric kind of guy. And I think that if Mandalorian, the movie, is a big success, I think he's probably just going to want to say, okay, we'll do another Mandalorian movie in 3 years, as opposed to going back to the television show. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It might be much ado about nothing, but we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Factor. You know, guys, some days it's great to prepare your own meal, but some days it's great to have wonderful, delicious meals already ready to go. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals makes eating better every day easy. Wherever tomorrow takes you, be ready with pre-prepared, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. You'll have over 35 different options a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan, veggie, and more. And there's even more to enjoy with over 55 nutrition-packed add-ons that help make your weekly meal planning even more delicious. So what are you waiting for? Get started today and have a feel-good week of meals ready to go. They've got snacks, smoothies, and more. Discover a wide variety of easy options for the entire day, like breakfast, midday bites, and more. And guys, you get to save. We've done the math. Factor is less expensive than takeout, and every meal is dietitian approved to be nutritious and delicious. So guys, head to factormeals.com/Campea50 and use the code Campea50 to get 50% off. That's code Campea50 at factormeals.com/Campea50 to get 50% off. The question is for you guys. What do you think's going to happen here? I mean, yeah, they're not talking about season 4 right now. Well, maybe that's just, as Chris was saying, because they're focused on the movie. Or maybe the movies become where he lives. Or maybe the movie doesn't even do well and they just kind of move on from the Mandalorian character. What do you guys think is going to happen here? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comments section below and leave them there. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.